What is your first and last name?
And my name is Adon Partida.
All lives matter, man.
And I've been in Santa Maria since '68.
Can you, wait, hold on.
That's not true, dude.
I'll say your first and last name again, please.
My first name is Adon. It's in Spanish. It's Partida.
Can you spell both first and last, please?
My first is A-D-A-N, and my last is P-A-R-T-I-D-A.
Okay, just gonna look over here. So you were out here this morning. I heard about 8:30 is when it started going
It
on?
started pretty. It was more like 9:30 around there.
Okay.
And he was in the middle of the street. Had a lot of grievance. Had a lot of grievance about somebody owing him some money. He was screaming top of his lungs that somebody owed him some money, and he wasn't getting enough respect that he was getting paid or whatever. And he made a motion one time that he was pointing toward the restaurant across the street. But I'm not certain about that. But anyway, my experience with him was a couple times I go to the food company for groceries, and he was outside in the back panhandling, asking for some money and everything like that. But for the police department to do what they did today was very shameful. It was an embarrassment. For a citizen like me that lived in Santa Maria, thinking that the Santa Maria Police Department was one of the greatest forces in Santa Maria after what they try to do with Michael Jackson and stuff like that. But once again, for them to shoot the person multiple times, it was very over excessive force. And I'm very disappointed with them that they had to use that much force with the person with a knife. And he never threatened nobody, he just threatened himself. He always would say that if anybody would come toward him, he was going to cut himself. And he had the knife up to his throat. And he never pointed the gun toward the police department. And for the police department to say that he came after them with the knife is unjustified, because he was getting shot with beanbags. If anybody got shot with anything, they wouldn't know where they're going, because they're just trying to get away from the beanbags. And for them to say that he was coming toward them with a knife it's unreasonable. And it's not necessary, and I think somebody should look into that, investigate that kind of over excessive force, because to apprehend a guy with a knife and get shot multiple times, I don't think nobody would be able to justify that.
How did you react when you saw what was going on? First the beanbags, and then when they used bullets.
I got very vocal. I accused the police department as murderers, because they actually murdered the person, because he never did try to make a gesture of harm toward them. And for them to shoot him as many times that they did was unreasonable, because if anybody's been shot before, one bullet is enough to demobilize yourself, especially with a knife. You're going to be hurting with a bullet shot in you. And for you to be shot multiple times, it's very, very unjustified. I think somebody should be put up in charges for that, the lieutenant or whoever was in command of that force. And for them to be in force right now, the way they have the perimeter blocked off and asking people to move back, it's very unworthy of that.
Finally, the type of atmosphere right now here in this country, we've had so many shootings on both sides. Police officers getting shot and killed, people getting shot and killed. What do you think is just going on around here?
It's the amount of authority, it's the abuse of the authority. That's basically what it comes down to. People are just abusing the authority that they have, just like the police department right now. They're exercising their authority to push the public away from the scene, where the scene is in the corner, the far corner, for them to have us as public citizens to be able for them to move us back for I don't know what reason, and for them to block the area as much as they have to do. I have seen enough CSI that the perimeter is so excessive. It's unbelievable, and the amount of manpower that it's required to have this scene, it's a waste of taxpayers' money, in other words. And that's what people are upset right now, is that the authority are abusing their power and the money that they're having, and they're not using the money that they're getting to do the right things. And that's what I think people are upset about, is that the authority of government and local officials abusing that authority.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. I don't think they're gonna let me go.